You ever notice how the smallest guns often get the loudest opinions? Today we're dropping into a compact world where metallurgy, cartridge choice, and a few clever design tweaks make the difference between a pocket toy and a real defensive tool. I'll walk you through why tiny revolvers still earn serious attention in 2025, from ultralight scandium J-frames that vanish in a pocket to six-shot magnum snubbies that bite back and modular pieces that swap calibers on a whim. This isn't nostalgia. It's a practical look at concealability, controllability, and trade-offs you actually care about. Stick around. I'll point out where to save money, where to train harder, and which micro revolvers deserve a spot in a real carry plan. Like and follow Firearm Standard. Diamondback SDR. Diamondback's SDR is the kind of revolver that forces you to rethink what a wheel gun can be. It's a six-shot 9mm revolver, built on a solid stainless frame with a 2-inch barrel and a finish that looks almost like fine nickel plating. Diamondback ships it with 3 TK custom moon clips in the box. And if you're running a 9mm revolver, moon clips are not optional. They're how you make this thing practical for fast reloads. Functionally, it's a traditional double-action/single-action design with a smooth dowel pull that lands roughly between 9 and 11.5 pounds in double action, and a clean single-action break near 3.5 pounds with no take-up or creep. That means you can shoot it fast in dowel when you need to, or index a careful single-action shot when you want better precision. The sights are bright and deliberate, an orange fiber optic front and a dovetailed fiber optic rear that gives a clear, fast sight picture for short-range defensive work. The Hogue combat-style grips are not fluff. They offer real purchase on a compact frame, which matters when you start tossing hot rounds at the target. At just over 21 ounces and with 6 rounds of 9mm, the SDR carries more punch and capacity than most micro revolvers while staying compact enough for a pocket or small holster use. The 9mm cylinder and moon clip system let you feed common defensive loads and run faster reloads than you could with loose rounds. It's polished, substantial, and aimed at people who want wheel gun reliability without the capacity and reload penalty that usually comes with that choice. Bond Arms Stinger Series. Bond Arms builds small, powerful twin-barrel handguns, and the Stinger series is their answer for people who wanted something slimmer and lighter than the company's standard double barrels. The Stinger Rough keeps the stainless steel barrels and uses a frame about half as wide as the standard Bond Arms guns. The result? A package that drops down to roughly 16 ounces while still accepting a surprising range of calibers. Bond lists 380 ACP, 9mm Luger, and 38-inch Special among the options. Barrel interchangeability is a major selling point. You can change barrel assemblies to suit different calibers and rolls, making the Stinger something closer to a modular backup gun than a fixed-roll Derringer. It ships with both rubber grips and ultra-thin polymer grips, so you can tune how it prints and how it handles. The price point starts at $279 in the catalog used for reference. That places the Stinger in the budget to mid-range spectrum for compact defensive tools. Bond Arms pistols are not pocketable in the same way as a light J-frame. They are compact, yes, but their twin-barrel design and all-steel barrels make them chunkier. Expect sharp recoil with hot loads in a small package, and expect to use them for very close quarters defense rather than precision work. The Stinger trades some of the standard Bond heaviness for carryability while keeping the raw stopping options intact. Smith & Wesson Model 3 40PD. The Smith & Wesson Model 3 40PD is a classic light carry revolver wrapped in modern metallurgy. Built on a scandium frame with a titanium cylinder and a 2-piece sleeved barrel, this airweight J-frame clocks in at about 11.8 ounces unloaded. It's a 5-shot 357 Magnum that will also feed 38 Special. That weight makes it vanish in a pocket or tuck easily in a waistband, which is part of the entire appeal of a true pocket snubby. Performance trade-offs are straightforward and worth stating plainly. A tiny, light revolver firing magnum loads equals loud muzzle flash and stout recoil. Out of a 2-inch barrel, you can expect a sharp report and brisk muzzle blast from 357 loads. Still, the 340 PD's short length and minimal mass also make it a defensible choice for deep concealment. The bright green fiber optic front sight, paired with a square post-style sight picture, helps you get rounds on target faster than you would expect from a 2-inch revolver. J-frames historically have heavy double-action pulls compared to most modern striker-fired pistols. That's present here, and for many users, that heavier pull is a benefit. It's an oops buffer that reduces the chances of a negligent discharge in a pocket carry scenario. The 340 PD balances that with a usable sight setup and a grip geometry that lets you get a decent firing grip in a hurry. Ruger LCR. Ruger's LCR in the 32 H&R package is a study in compromise done right. It takes the compact, snag-free profile of a modern small-frame revolver and pairs it with a light, shootable cartridge that keeps recoil and the intimidation factor down. The text emphasizes notable points. Hogue to Mare grips for real-world purchase. A weight figure around 13.9 ounces. 6-shot capacity in 32 H&R Magnum, and Ruger's friction-reducing cam that smooths the double-action pull. If you're sensitive to recoil or you plan to train a new shooter, this LCR wins on ergonomics and controllability. The 32 H&R Magnum sits in that sweet middle ground, more juice than a 32 S&W long or the 2 S&W, but far softer than a 38 Special in a snub. That reduced felt recoil, the copy cites roughly 30–40% less than an equivalent small-frame .238, makes follow-up shots faster and more dependable from a short barrel. The 6-round cylinder is also a quiet edge in the field. An extra round matters when you're counting. Ruger's cam system is a core selling point. It strips friction out of the double-action stroke so the pull is more predictable and less stacking-prone than some other wheel guns. Predictability equals hits when adrenaline climbs. The rubberized Hogue grips tame muzzle flip without making the gun bulky in hand. A bronze-anodized aluminum receiver with a dark cylinder gives the gun a sharp, restrained look. Function meets finish. Kimber K6s. Kimber surprised a lot of folks by building a serious snubby. The K6s shows how a modern maker can squeeze 6 Magnum-capable chambers into a compact footprint while still delivering a usable trigger and respectable ergonomics. The text highlights Kimber's claim of the lightest 6-shot .357 Magnum snubby on the market, with a listed weight around 23 ounces, heavier than the ultra airweights but light enough to carry comfortably. Kimber's milling keeps the cylinder slim, which helps the gun hide better than you'd expect for a 6-gun. Kimber engineered the K6s for balance. That extra ounceage compared to micro airweights is deliberate. Weight soaks energy and keeps Magnum recoil manageable. The concealed hammer and slim profile reduce snag risk during draw, and the Dow trigger averages about 9 pounds on a double-action revolver is workable with practice. It's a compromise between safety and speed. The K6s also ships with real sights, front and rear, so you can aim rather than point. That elevates it from last-ditch to practical defensive tool. The K6s gives you 6 rounds of serious defensive potential without turning the gun into a hand dampener. Kimber's trigger work and slim cylinder design demonstrate that you don't need an enormous frame to carry a Magnum-rated wheel gun. For people who want capacity but still want a revolver that tucks, the K6s reads like an engineered solution rather than an afterthought. Smith & Wesson M&P Bodyguard. The M&P Bodyguard sits in that pragmatic zone, not the smallest snub, but not oversized either. The copy lists it near 14 ounces, with a 1.9-inch barrel and a 5-round cylinder. It's built with concealed carry in mind, hammerless, snag-free profile, and an ambidextrous cylinder release to simplify manipulation for both left and right-hand shooters. The Bodyguard's smooth day-out trigger and integrated sights make it a low-stress defensive choice. The Bodyguard trades the ultralight, invisible carry for a slightly chunkier, more controllable package. That's deliberate. Carry guns that are too light can be miserable to shoot and therefore neglected at the range. The Bodyguard pushes back. You can conceal it, but you'll also want to practice with it because it's built to be effective, not just carried. Having a black ramp front and basic integral rear sight lets you get hits at typical self-defense ranges, 10 yards and in, without the Frankenstein rigging some pocket guns require. Smith & Wesson offers multiple grip options and even an aftermarket laser grip variant, Crimson Trace, which suits users who want higher confidence for fast draws in low light. The one-piece synthetic grips keep the silhouette slim for concealment, but swapping in textured grips for better purchase is straightforward. Colt King Cobra. Colt's King Cobra is the muscle-class snubby that refuses to apologize for being a proper revolver. The model referenced is a 2-inch barrel stainless steel 6-shooter that leans into weight as a design feature, roughly 26 ounces unloaded, so it soaks recoil rather than passing it straight into your hand. That mass changes the whole experience. Where an airweight turns Magnum rounds into a punishment, the King Cobra turns them into something you can manage with practice. Colt outfits the King Cobra with Hogue overmolded grips that have finger grooves and a profile close to full size, which is no accident. Those grips give you purchase so you can get back on target quickly, and they help keep the gun from twisting in your hand when you run hotter loads. The gun also ships with a full underlug protecting the ejection rod, a small detail that pays dividends if you're handling the gun roughly or carrying it in less than ideal conditions. The double action pull is on the heavy side, about 10 pounds as noted, which sounds intimidating but is part of a defensive revolver's DNA, predictable, deliberate, and consistent. The bobbed hammer double action only option reduces snagging, while Colt also offers a carry variant with a thumbable spur for people who want single action indexing. The cylinder release behaves differently than many modern designs. You pull it backward to open the cylinder, and that takes a beat to learn. It's not a fault, just a muscle memory thing to train for. Taurus Model 650. Taurus positions the Model 650 as a no-nonsense, budget-friendly 357 Magnum option that brings classic revolver capability to the practical shooter. The modern reissue keeps the dimensions and features that made the 650 popular: serviceable ergonomics, dependable function, and a price that doesn't demand bank-level credit. The line now includes a 3-inch barrel option, which is a meaningful addition for those who want a slightly longer sight radius and a touch more velocity while keeping the package compact. The 650 family plays nice with a lot of existing revolver accessories, speed loaders, holsters, and grips designed for similar 5-shot Magnum snubbies. That means it integrates into common carry systems without needing custom gear. Taurus ships both black finish and stainless options. The copy referenced retail points near 455 to 470s depending on finish, making the 650 an economical workhorse. The 650 is marketed to be approachable for everyday shooters. It won't be the lightest gun you own, and it's not trying to be a boutique showpiece. Instead, it's a practical carry revolver you can train with and rely on. Adding a 3-inch barrel variant smooths the recoil perception slightly and improves sighting for follow-up shots, which is useful if you plan to run hotter Magnum loads or you want an edge in accuracy at defensive distances. Smith & Wesson Ultimate Carry J-Frame. Smith & Wesson's Ultimate Carry J-Frame is an attempt to modernize the classic small-frame carry revolver without compromising concealability. Built off the 642-442 lineage, this model flips the script by integrating modern sighting and grip tech, a serrated Novak-style rear notch, and an XS tritium front sight for low-light aiming, plus a high-horn VZG-10U grip designed to put more of the gun in your hand while keeping the overall footprint small. The Ultimate Carry keeps things light with a no-lock airweight frame that lands around 16 ounces, light enough to be truly pocket-friendly, but it's also optimized to give a better grip interface than older bare-metal J-frames. The improved trigger work mentioned in the source aims to make the double-action stroke easier to manage for a wider range of shooters. The wider-shaped high-horn grip helps mitigate the sharpness of recoil a tiny bit by improving hand purchase. You can get this gun chambered either as a 5-shot 38 Special or in a 6-shot 32 H&R Magnum configuration. That flexibility matters. The 32 H&R Magnum option gives an extra round and reduced recoil, while the 38 Special keeps to a more common defensive load. Pricing cited was around $759 regardless of finish, which places the Ultimate Carry in the premium small frame segment. Not inexpensive, but aimed at buyers who want top-shelf materials and modern defensive features. North American Arms Sentinel. The NAA Sentinel brings micro revolver practicality into a tactical-looking package without pretending to be anything it's not. Built in stainless steel and sized for deep concealment, the Sentinel ships as a 5-shot 22 Magnum with an available 22 LR conversion cylinder, an important feature for anyone who wants affordable practice ammo without buying a second gun. The small black pebbled grip improves purchase on a tiny frame, which matters because even light rimfire rounds can bite in a palm-sized revolver. Sight options in the source text include either a dot-style front or tritium-capable front sight. Either choice gives you a usable aiming reference on a platform that commonly relies on instinctive point-and-shoot. Functionally, the Sentinel is straightforward, solid construction, very limited sight radius, and the sort of short sight lines that demand close-range engagement doctrine. That makes it ideal for pocket carry where discretion and simplicity trump long-range precision. The conversion cylinder turns the Sentinel into a reliable, inexpensive trainer for follow-up practice and basic manipulation drills. Expect snappy muzzle movement on the smallest guns, so consistent grip and deliberate trigger press are non-negotiable for effective hits. In short, the Sentinel is a niche tool, excellent for deep concealment, cheap practice, and owners who value a compact mechanical solution with options rather than compromises. Taurus 692 Executive Grade. The Taurus 692 Executive Grade is the Swiss Army approach to snubbies, a premium finished revolver that emphasizes modular utility. What sets it apart in the surveyed text is the interchangeable cylinder system. Taurus ships the model with extra unfluted cylinders laser engraved to match the parent serial number, enabling quick swaps between 357 Magnum, 38 Special, and 9mm configurations. The frame was designed for this capability, complete with a quick detach plunger system that makes cylinder changes a sub-10-second operation for trained hands. That flexibility lets shooters match ammo to mission, Magnum glass for hard-stopping loads, 38 for practice, or 9mm for common defensive rounds and moonclip workflows. The executive grade also gets a fit and finish treatment, satin stainless, brass front sight, and wide hardwood executive stocks that give the revolver a stable, ergonomic interface uncommon on compact wheel guns. Ported barrels and a nicely tuned double-action trigger add to shootability when running hotter loads. Taurus bundles the package in a hard-sided, gasket-sealed case, signaling intent. This is a monitored, premium offering rather than a bare-bones peso revolver. As a result, the 6-92 reads as a practical, user-configurable defensive tool that bridges training, caliber availability, and real-world adaptability for owners who want a single revolver to cover multiple roles. Conclusion: modern micro revolvers are no longer relics. They're engineered answers to specific carry problems. You get trade-offs: weight versus recoil, capacity versus concealability, simplicity versus reload speed. But manufacturers today are using improved materials, smarter ergonomics, and modular thinking to narrow those trade-offs. Whether you favor ultralight airweights for vanish-in-pocket carry, a 6-shot Magnum solution for more rounds, more power, or a convertible system that adapts to training and threat sets, the small-frame revolver market in 2025 offers purposeful choices. Train deliberately, match ammo to roll, and choose the ergonomics that make you shoot better under stress. Like and follow Firearm Standard.